Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Regular viewers will know that I review many video, audio and photographic related products. Well, today we're taking a brief look at the FujiFilm X-T100. Now, this is a compact system camera, so it's got interchangeable lenses. I actually purchased it with its kit lens, which is the XC 15-45. And here it is fitted with this kit lens, and it's actually very compact. The whole construction is beautiful. I don't know what it's made of, but it feels really good in my hand. It's nice and light, and I do like a nice light camera, because when I'm going out and about, I don't want to be carrying around me heavy cameras. I've got plenty of them. I want to take out something that's nice, light, compact, but still produces the results. And Fujifilm are renowned for image quality. They have done for years, even from the days of making film. And hence the reason, I guess, they've never changed the name. They never changed it to like Fuji Digital. It's still known as Fujifilm. And this camera, I absolutely love. I've only had it a couple of weeks, but I'm really enjoying using it. I've actually attached to it the grip that comes with it in the box. It's a little plastic grip that just gives you a little bit more. It's not as much as I would like, not as good as on the OMD, the Olympus OMD EM12. I love the grip on that. It is excellent, but it is a heavier camera. It's a pro camera. This is the entry-level consumer camera. So of course it only has the one SD card slot, being that it's an entry-level camera, slots in where the battery goes. It takes, which is quite nifty actually, it takes Fuji's W126 batteries, which are standard throughout the Fuji range. Fits their X-T1, X-T2s, the new X-T3. I've got one in my X-T10. This is a really nice camera as well. Very retro X-T10, because it has got the retro controls on the top of the camera. But yeah, both cameras take the standard W126 battery. It's pretty powerful, you know. It's not awesome, but it got me through it got me through an entire day when we went down to Weston-super-Mare. Took some images, a bit of video. So battery life is okay. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not too bad. This is the Fuji X-T100, say entry-level camera. Now the top plate isn't quite so retro looking, because it's got your program dial here, aperture priority, shutter priority, manual, etc, is on the top here, and that works fine. So you just choose your shutter speed, your apertures, and then on the back to make the adjustments, let's turn her on if there's a battery in it. I don't know, there is no battery in it. Typical of me not to get me props sorted, but I say that is useful. You only need to keep in stock one type of battery and it fits all the cameras. Very nifty that. So that's the battery in it now. So you see the top plate, PASM dial, program, manual, shutter speed, whatever. So if you're in, let's say for example, aperture priority, you're in aperture priority, the dial on the back here will adjust the aperture, and it comes up actually on the screen. The aperture settings come up on the screen. I have no idea how clear that is to see. It's only a small display at the bottom of the screen. One thing I love about Olympus cameras, the display is much bigger. You can clearly see your shutter speed, your apertures, your exposure compensation, etc, etc. On the Fujis and Sonys and most other cameras, there's a fairly small display, but it is sharp. So, it might be small, but it is nice and sharp. And the control wheel is just on the back here. There is no control wheel on the front, it's just the one on the back. The top plate has got these two dials here. Now these can be assigned to pretty much whatever you want. This one here is exposure compensation, and I've kept it at that. I don't know if you can change that one, but that's exposure compensation, and as you turn that, your exposure compensation goes up and down accordingly. Now this one here, when it comes out of the box, is, get rid of that, is preset for film simulations. Now I shoot RAW, so I don't necessarily need that, although I do shoot RAW and JPEG. So the JPEGs that come out will have the simulations applied to it, and there's a lot of them, but I've actually pre-assigned this top dial here to be your ISO, so I can quickly rattle through my ISOs on that. I'm really pleased with that. And as I say, then this one I've pre-assigned exposure compensation, and the dial will go up or down accordingly. You almost certainly won't see that, but it does. It's also got a really bright, I don't know what it is, you'd have to check the specs online, but it's got a really bright viewfinder and a really good quality viewfinder, so you can clearly see what you're doing, and any adjustments you make will show up in the viewfinder. Yeah, that is absolutely excellent. Yeah, very pleased with that. So as you adjust your exposure compensation, that goes up and down in the viewfinder, or if you adjust your apertures, that shows up in the viewfinder as well as showing up on the display. And that's about it for us. It has got one function button. I've pre-assigned that for the film simulation. It's a pain to get to. It's really recessed, and it's just in the top here, but it's a very recessed button. I guess that's so you don't accidentally knock it, but not the easiest to get to. That won't keep coming up. Go away. So then you can see your film simulations, and you adjust your simulations just by turning the dial, this dial here. And it's got various other controls, your playback. Fuji have implemented in this camera the same as all the other cameras, pretty much all of their Q button, which is, that keeps coming up. The Q button is basically a quick menu button, so you can access certain features, ISO, film simulations, digital noise reduction, etc., your RAW, JPEG sizes, and you just adjust them again by the wheel. So, you know, that's a handy feature. I actually don't use it a lot, but it is a handy feature if you do use that sort of thing. It's also got these 4 function buttons here, but I can't find a way of assigning them for anything that it isn't shown here. It's a real pain. I really wish I could change some of those settings. So, for example, I don't need this self-timer mode. It would be lovely if I could pre-assign that, I don't know, to ISO, white balance, whatever I might want to assign it to, but I can't. And that's that. One of my favourite features of this camera, bar none, is the tilty-wilty screen. Now, most cameras have tilty screens, but this one has a screen that you can turn out, pretty much the same as on the Panasonic GH5, GH4, a whole list of the Canon, particularly Canon cameras. But where this differs is how it articulates. You can see it comes out there, which is great for taking photographs of your selfies and for video recording. If you're doing, vlogging and whatever, it's potentially a really good vlogging camera. I'll come back to that in a moment. But not only does it swivel out on a really well made, even though it's their entry level camera, it's a really well made articulating screen there, it also swivels up and down. Now the great thing is, unlike the Olympus cameras and the Canons, when it swivels out, you have to then swivel this to get the articulating screen to work, and there's a real danger you're going to knock the camera or damage it as it's out on its swivel. But with this one, it will swivel out, it will swivel up and down without having to bring it out to swivel it up and down. So whether that's making any sense to the viewer, I don't know, but it's very, very well made, and I really like that. So, superb idea, great piece of engineering that. So well done to the Fuji engineers for designing that. But it has got touch to focus for rack focusing and all that sort of malarkey. Now, as I said, the screen articulates, which is wonderful. It's got a lovely grip, really like that. The lens that comes with it, the boxed lens that comes with it, is the XC 15 to 45. For a kit lens, the optical quality is very good. The manufacturing quality is average, really. It's a plastic mount, and it's a plastic lens. But it's extremely light, so I guess there's an advantage there. But optically, yeah, it gets the job done. And the zoom, it's got power zoom. I've never liked the power zoom. I prefer the good old-fashioned type of lens. This is the XF 18 to 55, which is a fantastic lens. It's another kit lens, but it's not anything like you would expect a kit lens to be. It's got a proper focus control here, as you can see the lens zooming in and out, and an aperture ring. Although it's not marked, but that is actually an aperture ring. That's a lovely lens, and the image quality from that lens is outstanding. But getting back to this camera, yeah, it's a 24 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor with a Bayer array. It's not an X-trans sensor, although there is no anti-alias filter, so you will get lovely sharp images. I'm absolutely really impressed with the images I've been getting off it. Went to Western Supermare in the UK last week. Yeah, very pleased with these images. No problems there whatsoever. Under all sorts of lighting conditions. Low light capabilities with this camera is pretty good. Yeah, noise level, handles noise very well. Sharpness, this is more to do with the lens than it is the body, I think, but the sharpness that this sensor resolving is excellent. Although this was with the 18 to 55 lens, not the kit lens. I haven't really used the kit lens a great deal, but yeah, no, you'll definitely be very, very pleased with the image quality that comes out of the Fuji's. So it's got 91 phase detect points, which is reasonable. You know, you can see if we get into that, you can see. You might be able to see the points that go across most of the screen. You can see as you move the focus point around. You make that focus point larger or smaller, so it's virtually pinpoint. So you can see it covers the vast majority of the frame, which is completely fine. You know, I don't have an issue with that at all. Particularly as it's an entry-level camera, I think they've put a lot into this. So, you know, that is excellent. 6 frames per second in continuous mode JPEGs. Again, for an entry-level camera, I don't do sports, or even wildlife photography, so that isn't something that interests me. And all the other things, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, interchangeable grip. Battery life is pretty good. Now video, it is potentially a really good video camera because it has, well, a really good vlogging video camera. Let's put it that way, because it has got the articulating screen. Oh, I've gone into a, look at that, black and white simulation mode there. So it's got the articulating screen, and it's got a mic jack, which is tremendous. Yay, a mic jack. It's just in the side there, but it's a 2.5mm jack. So I've had to purchase a couple of these piddly little adapters to go into there, and then now I can plug my Rode mic into there and obviously put it onto the hot shoe, which is great. And works fine. You can adjust your audio levels to a degree. You go in, again, you have to go into the menu. There's no shortcut. It annoys me. Sony have done that with one of their cameras. It does annoy me, but you have to physically fumble around in a menu. And when you're in video mode, well, there actually isn't a video mode per se. It's based on what your mode dial is set to. So I would make sure it's on shutter priority and set that to 1/50th, go away, 1/50th of a second. And then as you hit the record button, which is really recessed, they've done that, I'm sure, so you don't accidentally knock it, but not helpful when you're vlogging and you want to hit the record button. But so there is no record button on the dial, mode on the dial. It's controlled by basically just hitting the record button here. So when you hit record, get that in, then obviously a record light comes up, and it comes up as a 16:9 frame. and then that's actually recording, but you can't see your audio levels. You can when you're setting them up, but you can't see while you're actually running video. But that's fine for vlogging, but you wouldn't use it as your main video camera. Also, apparently, well, not apparently, definitely, it shoots 4K, but it don't really, because it's naff. You would never be able to use it because it's 4K 15 frames a second. So that's completely useless. I think they've put that in for marketing purposes. You would use it in 1080 HD. Now there's been mixed reviews about whether it's good, bad or whatever. I find it's okay myself. It's not going to win any awards, but again, if you're doing YouTube content and you're using it primarily for vlogging, you know, although that's black and white, hey, it works completely fine, and the quality is, you know, more than acceptable. In fact, I have used it, so I know the quality is more than acceptable. But just be aware, you will need an adapter, and you can't monitor the sound. So, with that in mind, I would strongly recommend, as a backup, that you invest in something like this, a little portable audio recorder that you can just clip on. I don't know if you saw that, a little portable audio recorder. This is a Sony one. Zoom make them, I think Rode do them, I'm not sure. You can just clip it on your shirt or jacket or whatever, hit, you know, so that you know when you sync it, it gives some sort of clue as to cue as to what it is, and at least you've got an audio backup in case the audio on this is crap. So there we go. That's that's basically an overview of the camera. HDMI ports on the side. Again, I haven't tested it, but I've been told the HDMI only works on playback. You can't monitor it as a recorder, which is a bit odd. But it has got a HDMI port on the side there. Grip that I've attached to it. And there we go. But I say one of my favourite things is this articulating screen. I really do like the screen. It's excellent, nicely made. And the viewfinder, even though the text is quite, you know, quite poor. Sorry, quite small, not poor. It is very small. It's very, very sharp. And the viewfinder itself is incredibly sharp. It's very, very nice, you know. So, yeah. That's basically the FujiFilm X-T100. I can highly recommend it based on the images and on the usability. That's what everyone says. Everyone who uses Fuji say the same thing. It's the fun of using them. They're very retro, particularly, you know, this style of Fuji, the X-T10, the X-T20, the T1, X-T1, X-T2, and now the X-T3, which I'm about to get. I've ordered an X-T3, so stay tuned to this channel to see the review of a FujiFilm X-T3. So there we go. That's pretty much a briefish overview of a FujiFilm X-T100 camera with its, and I've got it fitted with its 15 to 45 kit lens. Great, great, great little camera. Fantastic results, a lot of fun to use. So there we go. Thanks for watching this review, and I hope you found some use of it and enjoy my channel. I do regular reviews. All the kit I pay for myself. It comes out of my own pocket. I don't get equipment loaned to me from manufacturers or given to me or whatever. I pay for everything that you see here. So that's how we can be very unbiased. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this review. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you like this particular video. And stay tuned for more, particularly the FujiFilm X-T3 review. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.